Okay, for doing my walk around, I need to grab the engine covers. Then I need to do the landing gear pin. The first production delivery of the Globemaster III was in 1993. It's stuck up inside. And I need to grab the... This plane is included in the Premium Deluxe Edition of Flight Simulator 2024. That, and then now I can go inside. For setting up views, I set up view number 2 for pilot instruments. I set up view number 4 for the navigation. View number 5 does the overhead panel, and view number 6 does the radios. Okay, so on the pre-flight checklist, I removed the engine covers, removed the pitot flags, and I removed the gear pins. For my cockpit inspection, I set the gear handle. Gear. Engine ignition. Norm. And selector switch. Set to off. Engine shut off switches. These guys are all off. Ground ops power switch. Set to off. Switch.
Wax fail. Wax fail.
That's set to on. DC high switch. That is set to auto. Transfer buses. Set the transfer buses to normal. AV buses.
Line up and wait American 2927.
Alright. Set that to auto. AP. Alright, check master cautions. I don't see any warnings.
134.
Set the external power to on.
Clear for takeoff runway.
Okay, test the fire detection switch.
134. 45 for American 2927.
You test that one too.
SkyWest 558
Test the smoke detection system.
Clear for takeoff runway 11 or SkyWest 558.
And leave it set to arm. CX tie switch. R. The ACX tie set to auto.
SkyWest 558 contact Albuquerque Center on 134. 45. Good day.
Bailout alarm.
134. 45 for SkyWest 558.
Emergency lights. Set that to arm. Stall test.
American 2926 turn next taxiway.
Preflight. Parking brakes. I have the parking brakes set.
American 2926 contact ground on 120. 025.
Pilot display. Interior and exterior lights.
Going to 120. 025 American 2926.
Okay, there's my overhead panel. Floodlight. Dome light. Position lights. Have lights. And instrument illumination. My RU switches. All these to on. QD, MCD, and MFDs. Are all on and working. Alright, check my comms and radios. Pilot standby instruments. Set the ELT to norm. The Fed arm switch is disarm. The onboard inerting system. The OBIGS pressurizes the fuel tank with nitrogen gas. On. Airflow. To on. Trim air. That to on. Avionics will override. Off. Fuel defogger. Turn that on. Left and right anti-ice supposed to be off. Engine anti-ice is off. Probe heat is off. No smoking and fasten seat belts. Alright, arm the anti-skid. Computer. We got the mission computer. Alright, so set all these knobs to EFCS. Mission computer. Set up the flight plan. Fuel pump 3. This on, those are going to start the APU. U starter. Start that and let the RPM go all the way up to 100. Okay, AP power generator is now on. Auxiliary pumps 2 and 3. I have to turn these on. They're turned on and they have pressure. We're starting engines. Gonna check the comm radios. EU and external equipment. To as required. I'll leave that on run. Parking brake. Gotta check the parking brake again. Parking brake, that's set to on. Pilot displays, I don't have any warnings. Fuel quantity is 121,700 pounds. Fuel boost pumps, I got to turn on the boost pumps. Number 3 is already on. Okay, starting. I have to use 2 and 3 to engine start. Set that up for the engine display. And on the APU bleed air. 3 psi. Lights are on. Set the anti-call lights to fuselage and wing. Engine selector was to A and B. Throttles are set to idle. Check air bleed supply.
Tucson Tower Delta 1055 ready for departure. Runway 11, our IFR to Seattle.
Alright, checking temperatures and pressures.
Delta 1055 altimeter 29.
Okay, open the shutoff valve.
American 1014.
Start engine 1.
Clear for takeoff. Runway 11, our Delta 1055. Clear for takeoff. Runway 29er, our American 1014.
Okay, we can see that it's starting to spool up. And then we do the same thing for engine 4.
Going to 134. 45 American 1014.
Now we're going to do this for engines 2 and 3. Have to watch those engines spool up.
SkyWest 639er 8.
So those engines have stabilized, and then we check the APU bleed air. Turn that off. Left and right packs get turned on. Get this one. Engine anti-ice. Leave those off for now because I'm in Arizona. Probe heat switching. Left and right anti-ice. And hydraulics pressure. Turn all 4 of these on. Don't forget auxiliary pumps 2 and 3 get turned on earlier in the steps. So that completes the startup. You can hear the engines in the external view, but the C-17 is a relatively quiet aircraft. For the air show displays, they do a demonstration where they demonstrate how quiet the lifter is. Some interesting things about the C-17 are that the air brakes work together with the ailerons, so that when you turn to one side, the air brake helps to pitch the airplane down, and so that changes how the roll center responds. And you'll notice that when you're flying the plane. And the thrust reversers are fully functional, so you can have a chance to use it like they do in an actual display. The pilot can back up the plane without using a pushback vehicle. I'm going to take off and do a quick loop around the airbase. The flight for today is at Davis-Monthan Air Force Base in Tucson, Arizona. I like flying in Tucson because the weather is really nice for flying in the wintertime. There's the air brake in action. It's not lifting up very much, but there we go.
At 2 miles northwest of Tucson, 5,100 feet, altimeter 29er. 89er.
There's the Tucson airport. Flying over the boneyard. If you hit one of the quick views, it always gives you the option to keep an eye on your cargo, so that must be very important. Cargo capacity is a maximum of 18 463L master pallets. If the plane was hauling vehicles, it can carry 1 M1 Abrams tank, 2 Bradley armored vehicles, or 3 Stryker armored vehicles. I'm now lining up for the final approach.
1,000.
does fly like an airliner.
550, 500, 450,
Bumblebee India Mike Sierra 89er 12 turn next taxiway.
And so that's what taking a flight with the C-17 is like. If you are a fan of the C-17, I have more videos you can check out, and you can also subscribe to Tasty Sandwiches for more aviation related videos.